Hello, one and all, I'm GrimpaulCheese, and welcome back to Dark Souls. So we're all ready to go into Sen's Fortress right about now, but I want to do one thing before we disappear, and that is, I want to repair all of our equipment, because as you can see, some of it needs repairing, and it costs a lot of souls to do so. So let's just make sure it's all nice and lovely and repaired. Let's see, any armor needs repairing. Well, let's just repair all of it, just to, make sure, Because you never truly know what we might encounter, what might happen, how many deaths we might have, and what type of traps will absolutely maim us and destroy our armor, or possibly melt it into our skin. Such traps are never so wonderful to come across, but you never really know in a house of traps. Who knows, it could be a house of horror. It could be just nothing but like a bunch of ghosts just going boo. I don't mean like real ghosts, I mean just like paper people. Yeah, so we've spent like nearly 2,000 souls just repairing stuff. But either way, I'd say now more than ever, we're prepared to enter the mighty stone fortress right here. We just have to walk across this ever so lovely leaf-covered pathway into that ever so rusty bronze gate. Luckily, we're gonna go an old trusty stone sword and shield, which can possibly deflect anything that's got to be our way, or anything that could be thrown our way, because as you can see, and we peer into the dark entrance of this foreboding place, we don't really see much, do we? It's a pressure plate, that's evident. There's nothing really there. You think there'd be a giant welcoming party, like a bunch of balloons, and stream like a banner like, "Welcome back to Sen's Fortress! Come back soon!" or something like that. No, it's not that welcoming at all. So just in case, let's just do this. Those bolts had enough force to actually fling me back some. So there's gotta be some powerful thing along here, and we do. We see a strange humanoid right there. Looks rather scaly. Oh, we angered one of them. It's a snake man. He is absolutely massive. Hello, snake man. You're rather shiny, aren't you? Let's get him in the sunlight so we can have a proper look at it. But come on. I won't bite. Well, not just yet. You probably will. You probably might bite off my head regarding how you like to drop. Yeah, you were going to bite my head. Wow, we do no damage to you. Oh, God. So this is one of the many enemies of Sen's Fortress. I don't know how they live here, how they manage to eat, but all I know is they're very shiny, man-shaped, and actually kind of snake men. They have a very low chance of dropping their lovely, lovely sword. As you can see, we're slightly curved. If we go over here and we see, if we bring this man down, we can have a better look at his sword. Yeah, stop hissing at me and come down here. Let's have a nice conversation. So, have you been here long? You see this sword? That's basically a greatsword. It's like the one I'm wielding, just not as magical or stony, but you do need to be careful with these things. They, as you can see, have a great lunging attack, and they seem to be resistant to magic, but they are weak to lightning, like many other creatures in this game. I mean, just look at scaliness. Look how shiny and smooth he looks. I wonder what his secret is. I really do want to know. Now, did you drop anything for me? No, you didn't. I have no idea if they can drop their shield ever so slightly. And one thing I love just doing is playing with their neck. They're like giraffe snake people. I don't know who invented them, but whoever did has definitely got a snake fetish. Or two. But either way, we're now within Sen's Fortress. You immediately might think, oh god, these statues will come alive. No, they won't. These are not like the Black Knights we encountered, but just not as, well, scarred and horribly burned. They're kind of actually nice looking. They can't be broken ever so slightly. There's also someone dead behind these pots. He was a brave warrior. He certainly was. He died in what he loved. Pots. But this is not Sen's Fortress. What Sen's Fortress is this. Say hello to Sen's Fortress. Isn't it a lovely, charming place? It's ever so big and full of so many traps and the like. As you can see, there's another snake man down there. But there's also a secret about this place. Not only a secret, don't jump down. There you go. You see that little thing down there? You may recognize him. He's an evil Titanite demon. Now, there's actually a lot of them down there. And as you can see, there's a snake man waiting for us across there. It's an absolutely wonderful place. I mean, to be honest, this would be a great place to make your summer home. Could you imagine all the fun you had with all the people you could invite? I can imagine only the greatest of things happening. Now, these axes are very annoying, because in this game it's hard to tell depth perception, because these things have no shadows, as you can clearly see. So you need to be careful. Someone tried throwing lightning at me, but we need to make sure we don't get thrown off the edge right about now, because that thing he has a lot of knockbacking. Oh, no, no, ow! Thank God we have a lot of poise, that's all I gotta say. If we didn't have much poise, we'd fly off! Like it's one of those Japanese animes! Sadly, we just don't do that much damage to him, so we have to slowly whittle him down while being pummeled ourselves. Nope! No last hit for you. Now, there's a man up there who's actually trying to lightning bolt me. He is absolutely different compared to the rest. Now, I may struggle ever so slightly in this place, mainly because I normally come to this place with a good old range attack. The good old lightning bolt I like talking about every now and then. Well, there's a lot of statues, isn't there? Always wondered what the purpose of these statues are. Oh, someone got angry and knocked off his hand, or his arm. Ow! Someone electrocuted me. That's not very nice. We're going to show him a lesson. A lesson that you'll never forget. Or you'll probably never learn from. Hopefully this... Actually, I'm going to quickly check. What's this shield's lightning resistance? It is stone, after all. A very enchanted stone shield. It's quite good. I don't think it is as good as the wooden shield, but it's the best one that we currently have. Oh, I'll do anyway. So let's go with our shield in tow and try to get across. Now, this one's a difficult one. Because you can see it knocks you back ever so slightly, and you have to sprint across this to do a splow. Now, the main thing about this guy, he has flamberges. Now, they are infamous for their bleed damage. If they do a combo, it will never end. And he can also do lightning and all of that. And there's a chest, but you see a slit in the wall and another pressure plate. You know, this place is ever so charming. It's not as deadly as one might think, aside from these giant, well, swinging guillotines. I mean, our Rusty and don't actually look that nice looking. I mean, it's very chipped and all of that, so a lot of people must have came through here. Nice stuff. That's probably why they kept the Titanite demons. I wonder what these snake men do for fun. They probably do for fun. They probably go down in the tar and just have a giant, well, tar fight. They wrestle in it and just, you know, smother each other in a load of tar to make their, what do you call it? Scales? Yeah, their scales ever so shiny. That's the only way I can imagine. They're ever so shiny scales. Now, right there, we could just easily just ran to the side and just let them pew 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 down there. But I would like to feel the force, the blow of the giant bolt hitting my shield. It's always nice to get your arm a bit more force every now and then. By the way, we got a chest, and in this chest happens to be a large Titanite shard. Now, this would be the first place you would ever come across these large Titanite shards if you didn't find that bug earlier. When I mean that bug, I mean the bug in the forest when we went down to the basin, I think it was, where the watchtower was with the Havel Knights. But either way, aside from the past, so as you can see, there's a man napping down there. He is actually sleeping. We could go down and disturb him, but to be honest, you know, I appreciate these people. It's probably boring being in here. The only thing they can do is play around with these cages. After that man probably was debating and sleeping on that cage. I don't blame him, really. But he decides to sleep against a nice, smooth, cold wall. Oh, well. Oh, hello! Apparently... Oh, God! Oh! Well, he fought a bowler. Guess he broke his... Oh, hi! I was going to say, I bet he broke his spine. Now, the one thing I'm curious about, did that trigger the guy down there? No, he's just sleeping. Hopefully he'll sleep the nice away. Now, one test here. How much damage does this do? 100. Nice. Oh, that's almost completely mauled him. Almost chopped all his limbs off. One arm. So even though his friend just died and he just cried out in a giant moan, and he just flopped right in front of him, he just doesn't care. He must be really in a deep sleep. Let's leave him sleeping. I mean, I don't want to rake him up and find his brother dead on the floor. That would be awful. But as we saw earlier, there's boulders going by. And there's a man all the way up there. Now, what we need to do is we need to run up with our shield up once that boulder leaves. I wonder if it's made of metal or just stone. It looks to be stone. Let's quickly just go up. Now, this thing will try and hit us with lightning bolts. Let's try and dodge the boulder right here. Now, we could go through here, but I don't want to. I want to... Oh, we're luring him over here. Hello. You know, I don't like you. No. Okay. Hey! Boom! Wow, he just got absolutely maimed by that. Let's jump up here. Quickly, because up here happens to be a lot more statues. I never understood the... As I said, I don't know the purpose of these statues. They all just seem to be crammed here. Perhaps it's to play a good game of chess. Or, you know, that chair game of the songs. You know what I'm talking about, but hopefully. Maybe. Musical chairs, that's the thing. But in here, nevertheless, happens to be the Ring of Steel Protection. Now, this ring... Well, I won't equip it, but let's have a look at this ring, shall we? This ring in particular Boosts defense versus physical attacks. This ring belongs to the Night King Rendell. It grants protection from boosting a defense against physical attacks. Many legends surround the Night King Rendell. One of the well-known ones speaks of him standing down the Great Drake and slashing it to pieces. So, this one's actually quite good. It is actually a decent ring. I think it increases your protection by quite a bit, actually. It is worth having if you are going like, okay, I don't want to be damaged in the slightest, but it is quite heavy, because if I look at the ring quick, I don't go backwards and forwards a lot, I apologise. If I look at the ring quick, I can't look at it. Why can't I have a look how much it weighs? I don't know. Straight. But however, it's a heavy ring. So if you don't care about your, if you're rolling like slow like this, then go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Let's wait for the boulder to go down, because I want to jump off the edge. Not to commit suicide, but even though that is fun sometimes the word is, I want to get that thing there. How you can do this, 2 snake men, but we got a weapon, a shoto. Now this weapon is incredibly unique. This weapon in particular is a curved sword with a sharply curved blade. Created by Esther, Earl of Caram. Requires great skill to read, but evades shield defense to sneak in damage. So this weapon in particular actually goes through shields entirely. So if you're wielding this and like you can see a guy with a giant shield that's bigger than him, and you're like, I don't know how to get around that. You just got a straight, blunt blade. Well, luckily this weapon's just for that situation. You can literally curve around. The little curve in the blade, if I grip it right now, I can show you. So the curve of this blade looks like a bit like a sickle, really, but you can see it's like, you don't expect like, it's just going to attack like vertically. If you do it horizontally and curve around and like dig it into the back of his back or butt, they'll never expect it. He'll flinch in pain, then you can kick him in the crotch, or if it's a woman, just kick him in the knee, and then just, there you go. It's as good as that. But sadly, it's not what I want to use. I want to use a stone greatsword. After all, a moss knit can tell me how heavy it is. It's a bit like a giant blunt, well, hammer, really. Just slightly magical. Now, what we can do is we can slowly walk towards these people, and just slowly, ever so carefully, walk up to them. Oh, I triggered him. Hi! I wasn't going to backstab you. I don't know what you're on about. But you also might notice, there's that, well, knight. He's probably contemplating suicide. These snakes are probably holding him hostage. We can't have that now, can we? But we need to be careful not to actually hit the knight himself. After he's a jolly gentleman, he's in deep contemplation. He seems to be like a bit of fluff cell of some sort. That actually hurts a lot. You need to stop that. Right, so I do need to two-hand my blade to take care of these bloody things. They may be smooth, but they hurt like anything. One blow took off nearly half, actually took off half my health. Luckily I got a lot of drink. Now before I talk to him, let me just free him from his captors. Now once again, let's try and walk up to this snake man and walk behind him. Oh, hi! I just wanted to touch your scaly smooth skin. I'm sure it's ever so smooth and slimy, but the slime's a good part. You wouldn't hurt me now, would you? No? Are you upset from the slimy part? You're not slimy. You're as dry as a bone. It is absolutely lovely. You could win a beauty contest of snake people. You would love that, wouldn't you? I mean, who doesn't love winning snake beauty contests? Everyone does. You could be a contestant of the Lamia. I'm sure they adore you, right? I'm sure there are posters of you, like, everywhere. But sadly, you're now dead, and the posters are now going to be sold for a fortune of you, because you're now famous. How do you feel about that? Wiggle your neck if you like it. He didn't wiggle his neck. Oh, well. Anyway, hello. Look, buddy. There's greater things in life. You don't have to drop down into a bottomless pit into the void. There's many things you can do with yourself. Like, for example, you can get up and do a quick waltz with me. Look, I'll take away my weapon, my shield, and we can have a nice nightly waltz. We can just literally dance until the moon comes out. And then we can dance in the moonlight. How's that sound? That sounds great. So much shining, so much reflections from the moon.
Oh ho! Ah, where did you come from? Splendid news, I tell you.
I'm glad you agree. It certainly is a fantastic news. I don't think he was really talking about the lovely dance I was offering. I think he was saying that my mere presence. See, he likes me. The pyromancer likes me. we're gonna become friends with everyone. Such a jolly time we're having, isn't it?
Ah, so you see my plight. Yes, indeed. I've run up against a wall, or a ball to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, but who knows? Perhaps we'll have another development.
We could, in fact. So you're a bit too plump, I don't blame you. That armor's probably incredibly heavy. I mean, just look how thick it looks on him. Is either that or he's an incredibly fat man? If he is, well, obviously the fattest of men always the most jolliest of men. So we like him nevertheless. And just for you, to have but one last dance of our lives, I will help you. We shall do it once again. Mr. Fibbles, waltzing extraordinaire. But sadly it's not for now. For now, we must get rid of that giant boulder, since the fat man down here doesn't know how to get past it. I don't blame him, really. And also, if you're wondering what a giant circle was, it was not a graphical glitch or some type of editing thing I did. No. It was I think it was a cross-dimensional miracle booster. So if someone uses a lot of miracles at once, so someone in another dimension, aka another game, use a lot of miracles online, one of them circles will appear, which will boost the power of any miracles. If it heals you, well, then you get healed for more. If it's damaged, you get healed for more. If it's knocked back, they get knocked back even more. By what? And what amount? I mean, it's just, well, I don't know. Doesn't come up that often, since it had to be a very lucky occurrence. But either way, we need to dash across into here, let another boulder pass, and then we go all the way up. We need to find some way to block up the boulders. So good old friend Sigmar down there can help us. Because after all, he has a nice, lovely, shiny armor. Oh, that was close. Whew. So in here happens to be a room with more statues. This time without heads and one without an arm. What are they doing with the heads? I don't know. They've literally just been ripped off. You can see the heads just ripped off. I mean, what do people want to do with the heads? Maybe they're hollowing out and trying to wear it as a helmet or a glove. Probably. But as you can see, there's another trap. But this time, the trap is coming from behind. So what we need to do... Oh, as you can see, there's a lift back here too. The lift ever going up and down. It's ever so wonderful. Let's see if we can watch it go back up. Here we go. Well, it's going up. And it's got nothing on it. Just a giant blood stain. Wonderful. Ever so charming. Now, the first thing we need to do... Oh, we need to trigger it first, is do that. But the problem is we got a snake man back there. Now, what we could have done is lured him out and get him shot of it, and a good 600 damage would be done to him. That's right, that's how much the bolts will do each. 200 damage. It's a lot of damage. High power to his bolts. It does even more damage to my blunt hammer sword thing. There's more of a broadsword, that's what it's really known as. So you, my friend, seem very agile. You know, we could have a giant yoga contest. You know, I did yoga once. My leg just twitched a lot. I'm sure your leg twitches all the time. Especially now you're gonna die. Ow! That... Oh, I'm gonna have to drink again, aren't I? This sword is just so slow. That's the only issue I have with it. You know, I'm very upset that these stake men aren't dropping anything, but I've nearly got 10,000 souls. That's a lot of souls. So in here should just be... this was originally a table. I was going to show you the nice, lovely table. There's a chair. So he must have sat on that chair, heard me coming, and broke the table in such rage that the possibility of me getting past his friends, since they're probably bandits or me interrupting a nice picnic. And what happened to the food then? I have no idea. I have no idea. What do snake men even eat? Mice? I don't know. Now right here, like always, I'm gonna go naked. Because who doesn't love going naked every now and then? Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to outrace this boulder. Since you can go up, but as you can see, that's where the boulder comes. Now, the main issue with that is the boulder comes down awfully fast. That is where we need to go, but we need to go downwards. So we need to get down before the boulder comes by and basically does anything awful. So let's follow it, shall we? There's a snake man right there. It's going to chuck electricity at us. Now we're going to take a bit of a shortcut here. Jump down here. Now what we need to do... Is there a snake man in there? I don't think there's a snake man in there, though. But we need to wait for the boulders as they come by. Because we need them to make that pit right there full of nothing but boulders. As I said before, well, as I've never said before, we spoke about bottomless pits and all of that. Bottomless pits are never bottomless. But while that's going on, we wait for that to happen. You know what? I'm going to end the video here. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hopefully will see you next time. Take care of yourselves.